Show me yours, I'll show you mine.
I don't think so.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD presents The Neil Rogers Show. To talk with Neil, call 751-WIOD in Dade, 524-WIOD in Broward. Outside the 305 area code, it's toll-free, 1-800-944-WIOD. And Cellular One customers can call pound IOD at no charge. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Hey, Neil, this is Randy West, and as per our phone conversation, I talked to Peter North the other day, and he tells me your real name is Neil Down, and he still ain't interested.
Sometimes I wake up early now, turn on my radio. I can't believe what's on the air. What was that? Who is he? Am I turned to IOD? What's that smell? It must be some crap called Weekend Magazine. I remember not too long ago, some guy named Dave Graveline, he used to play Dead or Alive. Then I think Chuck Meyer was the host. God, I hated both those shows. Compared to them, though, Larry Justice blows. Bored to tears, or so it seems. I'm so angry I could scream about a show, a real wet dream. Jennifer M's Weekend Magazine. You hear these guys early Sunday morn go back to sleep, yes you will. That show could get me up, you know. Her voice can do just that. I'd be early rising Saturday. Turn her on, hear the show. Don't take a break, I'm gonna blow. I want it now, I'm gonna scream. Wet and Wild Weekend Magazine.
Is that enough dead air? Okay, 10:09 at WIOD. How are you doing on this great Tuesday morning? It's a beautiful day to be alive. How about those Panthers, huh? Uh-oh. Bad news last night again. We just can't play overtime. And that big Swede that everybody was raving about, he sticks it in there, he shoots, it's in the net, man. He gets the third Panther goal. The only problem is so far he can't play any defense. He'll be all right. He'll be great. He's a world-class player. That's what they keep telling us. But we just can't do it overtime. Wouldn't you think that a team that's so well-known for clutch and grab and playing all that defense, wouldn't you think that they could make it through 5 minutes and get the puck out of their own end? 3 games in 1 week, losing overtime. And then how about that frog in there last night? Were you watching the game? That's given Dave Lowry not 1 but 2 fingers. Yesterday was finger day. First we had OJ's finger. Everybody got to see his big finger. And then last night we got to see both fingers on the fat frog there sitting up by the glass, giving Dave Lowry the business. Here's a lady in Miami. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
Great.
I understand that you have a record that I've been looking for, high and low, Lord Windermere's farting contest.
Yes?
How could I get a copy of that?
I haven't got any idea unless, do we know, George, that place in Tennessee went out of business? Where are they selling that, the new one, the one that's on a CD or something? We don't know. Somebody had sent me a catalog like months ago.
Yeah.
That Johnson Smith thing?
Yeah, that catalog that's got all those novelty items, and that was in there. Have you got it? George will give it to you off the air, okay?
Oh, great. Thanks so much.
You bet. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, she's on 1. Give her that thing. Yeah, they've got it. Although, I don't know. Didn't somebody say they tried to get it from there? Well, she'll have to find out for herself. WIOD.
Neil.
Yes.
How you doing?
Okay.
You took my my theme away. I was calling to talk to you about the guy, the frog, last night that went to the Brian Cox School of Communication.
Yeah, but he went to 2 classes, not just 1.
That looks like me yesterday when I was up on the TV when Pat Buchanan was on.
Mm-hmm. They are the most classless, the most crude, the most disgusting, obnoxious people, not just the French Canadians, the French in general.
That's
they
right.
are just obnoxious. And this guy, you know, I mean, to be honest with you, there really wasn't much of a thing anyway. I noticed that Hall of Famer, and if Paul Kennedy keeps saying Hall of Famer anymore, I'm going to get a hitman for him. But anyway, I noticed that Denise Potvin kept trying to make a deal there that Fosberg left his skates and it should have been a charging penalty. He never even hit Lowry. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe Lowry crashed into the boards and he fell down like stunned, or maybe he was putting on an act, which is more likely. That's what Rimmer said. There was nothing that happened there.
Potvin was more impressed with the guy with the fingers.
Yeah.
I guess he thought he was.
And then he thought he was.
Commercial.
They
kept
thought
saying,
they were going to the commercial. They thought they were off the air. He said, he's still do there. Get it. Keep the shot on. Keep it on. Yeah, nice going, Denise. You jackass.
He's an idiot.
He is.
And in closing, Erin Somers, what an ass.
Okay. See ya. 12 past 10 at WIOD, George. 12 past 10 at WIOD, George.
10 WIOD. Better than a good beer buzz in the morning.
Hello!
Hi, it's Pee Wee Herman. Take it from me. They don't come any better than Neil Rogers.
Hello, you have reached the residence of Mr. Willie Nelson. Here is Mr. Nelson's schedule for today. 8:45, go through laundry hamper looking for something to wear today. 9 a.m., wash face, comb hair, dust beard with flea and tick powder. 9:15, page boy or ponytail. 9:30, roll bandana, roll joint, roll old lady. 10:20, organize peyote roundup with ranch hands. 10:40, have smoke with the boys, break into somewhere over the rainbow for no apparent reason. 11:05, call MCI, have IRS taken off friends and family circle. 12 noon, ask Cook for some of his special brownies. Burst into soundtrack from Yentl. 1:30, get munchies. 2:15, Thigh Master. 3:30, voice lessons with B. Arthur. 4:10, join Moonshiners for a little farm aid. 5:30, prepare for tonight's concert. Tear holes in Levi's, blow nose and bandana, put fist through guitar.
Thank you. 10:17 at WIOD. Anyway, we got something here. This ought to really get these people going. It's free, baby. Here we go again. I made up my mind after I left here yesterday because Rick was telling me that yesterday was one of the worst days in the history of their show. So why should I have expected any different? Then I heard Phil yesterday afternoon, even with Margaret on the phone, just pleading and excoriating, and it just don't do any good because they're dead. But anyway, here's thanks to my good, close personal friend Jeff Moss at the Panthers. J.J. Kelly's charter bus presents the Panthers Express to Tampa, and that's a week from this Sunday. That's the Panthers and the Lightning, and you get a chance to get on that bus and go to Tampa. What more could anybody want than that? Who wants to go to Vegas? Who wants to go to Europe? Who wants to go to hell when you can go to Tampa? And I understand, by the way, that the big contretemps that they're involved in over there is the thing about the Devil Rays. Even the American Family Association, our good, close personal friends who think that all of us should burn in hell, and we'll probably meet them there anyway, and they'll find out, they're obsessed now with the goddamn Devil Rays, and they're like fighting that as the new name of the baseball. See, only Tampa Bay, only those nose pickers over there could screw this thing up. They've been screaming and crying, we got screwed. It was the White Sox, and then it was Seattle. Everybody was going to give them a baseball team, and it never happened. And then we got the Marlins, and then they really got porked off. Of course, they at least give them credit for one thing. They knew Wayne was an asshole before we figured it out. But nonetheless, now they finally get a baseball team just at a time when there is no more Major League Baseball. Hey, let's expand. Okay, Phoenix and Tampa, there's two great towns. You got a baseball team. So I have no idea who comes up with these names. How does that process work? Does the owner, sit down someday on an acid trip? Does he drop a couple of sugar cubes and say, okay, let me come up with a name, and come up with some asshole thing? I would assume. I have no idea how that works. But nonetheless, they came up with two choices, the Devil Rays or the Manta Rays, both of which suck. But I'm really praying now. I don't know what the latest is on that, but I'm praying that they do stick with the Devil Rays because all the good born-again Christians over there on the West Coast are apoplectic. The devil! Oh, my God, it's the work of the devil. Next, we're going to have 666 on every jockstrap. They're going to be looking at everybody's pants just to make sure who's been naughty and nice. So they're like all worked up about that. But anyway, getting back to this, Panthers Express to Tampa, April 2nd, the Panthers and the Lightning, $59 per person for the trip, for the bus, and the tickets, I assume, right? Right. The price includes round-trip luxury bus transportation with restroom and VCR, game ticket, free sodas available on the bus, space is limited, minimum of 35 persons to go. Minimum of 35 paxes to go? What does that mean? Can you explain to me why they do everything in like shorthand, like I'm supposed to understand this? God, Jeff, you're an idiot. It leaves 9 a.m. in the morning from the Deerfield Boca Hilton, and then 9:30 in the morning from the Sheraton Design Center, lunch and rest stop on the way. 2:30, I don't get that. 2:30 in the afternoon, arrives in the Tampa Bay Thunderdome. 3:30 is game time. Depart the Thunderdome 15 minutes after end of the game. Arrive home 11 in the p.m. So there's a way to blow a whole day, a week from Sunday, and it's $59 per person, and doesn't say anything about it on here where you contact, which we don't really care because all we're reading this for is because we got a couple to give away. Right? We got 2 tickets, which includes your bus trip, and 2 tickets to the Lightning Panther game a week from Sunday. And free sodas on the bus. Can't go wrong with that. So that's good. They might, if you're really nice to them, they might along the way, I don't know which route they're going to take, but they might stop at Seminole Bingo or something like that. Because they got all those Indians out there on Alligator Rally. So you probably have a great time. We'll give those away to somebody who asked just the right way today, between now and soon. Or maybe not so soon. We'll figure it out. Also, speaking of trips, don't forget our Vegas trip. I wonder how we're doing on that. Do you think we might get some information and update on that one of these days soon? You never know. Anyway, Bob Lincoln, if you have any questions, if you want to sign up for our trip to Vegas on June 15th, 3 days, 3 nights at the Imperial Palace Hotel and Casino where we went last year. It was fantastic. They treated us great. It's right in the middle of the Strip. Just call Bob Lincoln, 947-6050, 947-6050 in Dade. Toll free from outside of Dade. It's 1-800-233-7264. It's $489 per person round trip. That includes direct nonstop flight Fort Lauderdale to Vegas, transfers, 3 nights at the Imperial Palace, welcome cocktail party, Emperor's Breakfast Buffet, Legends and Concert Show, admission to Antique Auto Collection. You're going to plunge your brains, have a great time. Call Bob Lincoln today.
Get the honey, Junior.
Okay, 1025 at WID. Now, let me just pass this along. Bob Lincoln just called George, said there's only 10 seats left. It's only the 21st of March. There are only 10 seats left on the first plane, okay? Let me give you that Vegas thing again. We're going to get 2 planes. The first one leaves at 6:30 in the evening, so 4:30, 11, get there to Vegas, latest 8 o'clock, maybe earlier than that. And the second one is for people who like work late or just they're slow getting their act together, like people who come to the ball games, and that one's going to leave at 9:30 at night. So there's only 10 seats left on the first plane, which means we have 150 people solid signed up for that one. And if you want to sign up, if you want to get on that earlier plane, you better call them like now, today, or forget it. And the second plane leaves at 9:30, which will be just as great. You'll still get there, 10 or 11 o'clock at night Vegas time. So it should be great, even though I don't have all those great connections out there in Vegas like certain fat cow in town has got. But at least we'll be staying at a great place right in the middle of the Strip and having the same beautiful time we had last year without all the tourists to go along with it. Now, what did Jeff Moss just tell you about that? On the, are you going to give me the info? Because the thing I'm a little bit concerned about, it says minimum of 35 persons to go. In other words, they have to, I assume what that means is they got to get, but is that right? They have to get 35 people sign up in order for this thing to fly?
He seems pretty confident it'll be right.
Oh, okay. Because I don't want to give something away and then find out that Jeff Moss is yanking my chain and the bus ain't going to go at all. That would be like fraud on his part. But not on our part. Cause
he says if that happens, he'll drive you up personally.
I'm not going. Oh, he'll drive them up? Oh, I wouldn't wish that on this audience. Have to go up there and listen to him, probably take his brother along, too. So anyway, here's the toll-free number if you want to pay for it. Of course, I don't imagine too many people are going to call till they find out who we give it away to. But if you want to go on that Panthers Express to Tampa a week from Sunday, see a great hockey game, and go over and see well, there's nothing to see except the Thunderdome. That's all you'll see, because the good part of it is you get out right after the game and come back. You don't have to hang around in that town. 1-800-395-5287. It's $59 per person, round trip, including the luxury bus transportation, game ticket, free sodas on the bus. What more could you want, okay? And hopefully a Panther win. 1-800-395-5287. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
I told you the Panthers sucked without the Weezer.
Yeah. And, oh, click, without the Weezer. Yeah, Fitzpatrick did play crappy last night. How come you couldn't have a conversation, sir? Are you too much of a butt plug to have a conversation, or was that your grade A material, okay? Because it laid a big egg on this show. 2 open lines. They're both in Broward, 524-9463. 524, we have no interest in your hockey game, in Michael Jordan, in Ed Pope, in anything, no matter what the hell it is. How do you like that? Because we're in Broward. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes.
I got a couple pig reports out there.
Okay.
Got one going 836 east.
Yes.
Got one going 95 north. And then there's a couple of stray little piggies out of the sty going up on toward the FIU area when you're on 135th, 151st. They're just kind of, thick as bugs in a bumper. So that was your public service announcement.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Have a great life. We have an open line today at 751-9463, 751-WIOD. Oh, by the way, we ought to set the record straight for the Herald because most of the people don't read the Set the Record Straight column, and I just noticed this today. It was so important. It says, because of incorrect information supplied by the South Miami Middle Community School, some sections of Sunday's Neighbors reported that Harry Wayne Casey of Gacy and the Sunshine Band would be in a talent show at the school on Wednesday. Casey will not appear. Celi B. Celi B? What is that, George? What is C-E-L-I-B-E-E-E-E-E? Celi B? Celi B? You don't know? He don't know. Celi B, we'd be doing it. And also due to an editing error. Now, here's an important thing I want you all to take very close note of. Due to an editing error, a story in Monday's Herald incorrectly said that human rights activist Eloy Gutierrez Manoyo joined his wife, Gladys Gutierrez Manoyo, and her 3 children on a trip to Havana Sunday. He remained behind in Miami. So I don't know why they put that in there in case maybe somebody wants to get him or something like that, but don't do that. That would be bad. That would be wrong, wouldn't it? It would be wrong. Also, I got a fax here that evidently they left behind from Erin's show last night from a hermaphrodite whose name I will not read on the air, and I'm sure it's the thing is not for real anyway. Neither.
You probably went and took it out of her box.
I don't get anywhere near her box, okay? The last thing in the world that I would get close to is Erin's box. Do you know what I'm saying? If somebody waved a magic wand and made me as straight as an arrow, the last thing I would come even close to under any circumstances would be that lovely bitch's box. I got you down. Here's a lady mobile in Pompano. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I'm going to get a phone call from a friend who's going to tell me I've become a chronic.
Really?
Yeah. I just keep calling. I don't even know what do you feel like talking about? I want to ask for the hockey ticket.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, whatever you feel like talking about, I'll talk about, just so that I can get a chance to see if you want to give my kid a birthday present and send him to Tampa.
Now, let's go back and review this again.
Yes,
Somebody called you.
Yes.
In other words, you weren't even listening.
No, I just...
You weren't listening.
No, I just turned it on, and I was listening.
But you weren't listening when I said it, though, were you? You weren't listening. We have an open line in Broward, 5249. I'm going to be relentless and brutal, more so than usual with these today after what you folks did to all of us yesterday. These Mondays, man, I'm taking off on Monday. I'm going to go out and play golf with some important people on Mondays. I'm not coming in this place. I'll tell you that right now. And I'll also tell you, for public record, nobody, I said it yesterday, and evidently it didn't get through to the right people, nobody is messing with the material that is played on the air on this show, unless it's questionable in terms of FCC, that's it. That's the only area in which anybody else is going to make any judgments about stuff that's played on this show between 10 and 2, period, end of conversation. That's it. And if Larry Justice is too thin-skinned to have fun poked at him, if Erin Somers is too goddamn thin-skinned, I got you down, like everybody else in this place does all the time, then it's too bad. Then they ought to find another line of endeavor, okay? It's just a goddamn radio show. But, everybody is so sensitive now, and everybody is uptight. And I don't think everybody's uptight. I think just basically one guy's uptight, one guy. Here's a lady mobile in Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil?
Yes, ma'am?
There's absolutely nobody to listen to on the radio at night. Not on any station.
You're not putting that...
Erin sucks.
Yeah. Well, that's her main claim to fame, I think.
Hey, since Randy left, that's the end. There's nobody at night.
Yeah.
And WIOD, in my book, obviously doesn't care. Especially losing the women at night. And
we've lost the women at night? We don't have any women listening to this station. We got like -6. We owe 6 women, the latest trend.
Well, I don't care for Erin.
Said if we could find 6 women and turn their radios on, then we'd be even. It would be a washout.
Well, people I talk to, where's Randy now? Is she still up in Palm Beach?
She's still at JNO. She's doing it. I don't know what the deal is, though. I guess Budell filled in for her last week. I would assume that she was on vacation. She's back this week. I would assume.
Would there be any chance of her ever coming back?
No.
No way.
Why would she come back here? She told them to stick it. She hightailed it out of here.
Yeah.
She told them to stick it.
Yeah, well,
and now they
nice
stuck
to her.
us.
They didn't treat her right.
Right. Well, have a great day.
Yeah, thanks.
See ya. We have an open line in Open line in no, we don't. In Broward, 524-9463. 524. It's free. We want it. Where's the Panther Patrol? How come we're not getting some good conversation about that Svensson, that Magnus Svensson last night who scored? He shoots, he scores! What a goal by Magnus Svensson. But he can't play defense yet because he's got to get familiar with the NHL and with how to spear guys in the gut like a good Swede, or, like Ulf Samuelsson, those really good Swedes know how to do. He's got to get the lay of the land and play a little bit of defense. But that guy that called before is right. Fitzy did not play. He did not distinguish himself last night. But nonetheless, I mean, when you're in sudden death overtime and you've outplayed the great Quebec Nordique right on their home ice and you got the Frogs booing and flipping the bird to everybody in frustration and exasperation, and then you just, and I'm sitting there, just don't blow it. Please, don't blow it. Oh, they blew it. Don't do it. Too late. It's in the net. Very disconcerting. And look at that. We have an open line in Broward. I can't believe. Can you believe that? That is truly frightening to me. I just can't even. I'm speechless. 524-9463. By the way, CNN showed their latest poll. The question they asked: Is there a chance? Is there a chance that the charges against O.J. might be true? That was the way they phrased the question. Is there a chance that they might be true? Okay. 66% of the white people in the poll said yes. They said, yeah, it might be true. 24% of the African-American people who were polled said yes. That means 76% of the African-American people who were surveyed in this poll said there is no chance that he might be guilty.
I killed Nicole.
How do you like that? Then they also asked, do you think that Detective Mark Furman planted the bloody glove? Okay? Did Detective Furman plant the bloody glove? Is it a setup? 18% of the white respondents said yes. 58% of the black respondents said yes. So thank God that this ain't turning into a racial thing anyway. I mean, how is it possible to be so blind to the truth? I mean, is it really that possible to be that stupid to say that there is no chance, that there's no chance that the charges might be true? They got his blood. They got the knife cut on his finger. They got the most stupid alibis, the most ridiculous, lacking credibility defense witnesses, all of whom are a laughing stock. He was sleeping. He was taking a nap. He was playing golf. He was batting it around. He was here. He was there. He was out there on a highway in a Bronco with $10,000 in a passport. 76% of the African-American respondents in this poll said there is no chance that the charges might be true. Turn the juice loose. And the 34% of the white respondents who said there's no chance, 20% of them go to Plantation High. They were in here that morning a couple of weeks ago. Good group, but very slow. 1036 at WIOD.
The opinions expressed by the host, guest, or callers on WIOD are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors. All WIOD programs are copyright 1995 by WIOD Incorporated and may not be recorded or distributed without prior written consent.
Don't they understand that I would jump in front of a bullet for Nicole?
Hey, Susan! I didn't expect it. Hey, your butt smells great! Is that potpourri in your pants?
No, silly. It's Red Dog perfume, the new canine fragrance from Red Dog Brewery.
Wow, what a great scent! Hey, mister, come here. You gotta smell my friend's ass. Okay. Golly, it's like a summer's breeze. Are you busy this weekend? All right, who's next?
Thanks, Red Dog. Down, boy.
Red Dog perfume. Strong enough for a bitch, but made for a woman.
Available at Bloomingdale's, Dillard's, and Pets R Us.
1040, 20 till 11 at WIOD. We got, now what's the deal? Did Van Adder finish up yesterday or what? Because I hate to admit it, but I didn't really watch any more of it at home. Did Van Adder, do he be done, or is he coming back again for some more with Bobby Shapiro? We don't know. Well, we'll find out, because it can't be that far away, can it? Oh, shades of yesterday's show all over again. Somebody on the purple line dropped off, so if you want those hockey tickets, we might give them away to somebody on Cellular One, but I doubt it. Pound IOD. Here's the mobile in Palm Beach. Hello.
Buenos dias, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Oh, pretty good game last night.
Wait, I thought we played a damn good game last
Our
night.
passing, for a team that's not too fast, we looked pretty fast last night.
Yeah, they finally decided to play some offense this past week, and even though we keep blowing these games in overtime, we're scoring some goals. Billy Lindsay's starting to look pretty good. They're sticking the puck in the net.
I like this guy Woolley.
Jason Woolley is awesome. He's playing great.
He seems to be right in the mix of everything.
He had one tremendous scoring chance. I remember that. He went right in on the rush there with, I forget who it was with, and he had a tremendous shot, a good scoring chance. This team is starting to fall into shape now. The only problem is they're losing all the games.
We're losing all the ties.
Yeah.
We're not pulling. I mean, we like wins, but even if you have a tie, it just we can't even hang in there for a tie.
That's 3 points we flushed down the toilet this past week. 3 good games, especially the game against the Flyers and the game last night, played really outstanding. And even Buffalo, we outplayed them. I thought 2-1 in that game. We outplayed them. And it's 3 points down the toilet. Keep that in mind when it comes playoff time. If we miss out again like we did last year by 1 or 2
points into the playoff situation if we would have had those ties.
Yep.
Also wanted to talk to you about.
And how about those Canadiens, man? 8-4, the Flyers kicked their ass. Once again, they beat them 7-0 the time before that in Montreal, and now they beat them 8-4 as the Leclerc and Renberg and Lindros line goes crazy again.
Nuts, totally nuts.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about the senior citizen drivers. About that accident over on the causeway the other night.
Yes.
Did you read about that?
No.
Oh, head-on collision. The guy's on the causeway on the wrong side.
Oy!
Drives right head-on into the 4 cars.
How old was he, 110?
Do you know how many drivers Florida has over the age of 90?
2 million.
40,000 licensed drivers over the age of 90.
Oh!
That's right,
Great.
Neil. They're also... They were.
Well, isn't this the decade of the 90s?
Yeah,
the
right?
age, not the, yeah.
Well, they did like some kind of thing on the news yesterday about fatalities in cars and stuff, and obviously teenagers are the number 1, but senior citizens are number 2, and since they only drive 0.4 hours a week, that puts them right up at the top. They're dangerous, Neil. Totally dangerous.
Okay, go get him, pal.
Hey.
Yeah. Open line at Dade, 751-9463. What are you smiling about, George? He said, hey. And I said, hey, see ya. Open line at Dade, 751-WIOD, 1 in Broward, 524-9463 on a really neat Tuesday, man. This is the way we like to toy with the audience. Just play with it. Speaking of that, here's a fax that was left in here on the table that says, hello, Erin. I am a hermaphrodite. Now, first of all, it says I'm hermaphroditic. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I am a hermaphrodite. What is it? I'm wearing some dites. I'm hermaphroditic, and I like to have sex with myself. Quite frankly, sometimes while I am in the process, it gets stuck, if you know what I mean. I know that this probably sounds like a joke, but it is true, and I don't know where else to turn. I'm too embarrassed to talk to any sexual therapists or doctors about the situation. No one knows except for my immediate family and my best friend. I would be eternally grateful if you would address this topic over the air between 10 and 11 p.m. tonight. Thank you so very much. I have no one else to turn to. Desperately yours, and it is signed with a name, but forget that. P.S. I would call you myself, but I am too embarrassed to actually speak to you. A hermaphrodite. Now, what's the easiest advice you can give to him, right? Go F yourself, I guess would be it. Although he's having a little problem there. So we're getting some people who are like bringing out their deepest, darkest, they're slinging it out, they're dragging it out, and that's a really good thing. That's what we want to do, is get their inner problems and work it out. Let's do Boca. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing today?
Pretty good, sir.
Hey, listen, I got a good question for you. I work at a gas station here.
Yeah?
If the frogs can reproduce in space, why can't they work the goddamn pumps?
Very good point.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out.
I still think space is the best place for them to reproduce.
I think the space is the best place
Anybody
for
who
them,
watched that game last night and saw the aberrant behavior of those frogs in Quebec.
Can you believe that guy?
Proves my point.
Oh, my God. Hey, listen, we were talking the other day about pucks going straight through the nets.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a game, it was either 2 or 3 days ago, and sure enough, the guy slapped a shot, ripped right through the net.
Right.
Play kept going.
Yeah.
Whole 9 yards. Hey, listen.
Well, what do you mean play kept going?
They kept playing, because they didn't know if the puck had actually gone in.
What game was that?
I can't remember now. I can't remember for the life of me. And but the play went on, and then after they, because everybody knew what had happened, but they couldn't tell. Then they pulled the clock back. They gave them the goal, and they had a penalty after the play, and the penalty stood also.
The puck did. That was the Pittsburgh game. That was
That's right.
Pittsburgh and Ottawa.
That's right.
Puck didn't go through the net.
Yeah, it did. It tore right through the net.
No, it did not. I saw the game. Watched the whole game.
Well, maybe it was a different game then because the ref was tying the net after the play.
Oh, I saw that too. That was in the Bruins New Jersey game. I think I saw them tying the back of the twine.
Yeah.
I didn't see that goal. The Pittsburgh game. That's another one that there was about 6.5 minutes left, and Ottawa scored. And the red light never came on, and the referee didn't call it a goal, and they had to do the video replay like about 3 minutes later, and sure enough, the puck did cross over the line, and then Reggett yanked it back out of there, but it was a goal, and then they had to go back to the point where it was instead of 3.5 minutes left, it was back to 6.5 minutes left, and Stevens still got the penalty for Pittsburgh.
It's
St. Louis
unreal.
and Anaheim Sunday.
Oh, St. Louis and Anaheim, somebody called, said that was the game the puck went through the net.
That was it?
Yeah.
Hey, listen,
And
my
St. Louis won
girlfriend
that
and
game 4-2, but St. Louis got beat by the Kings last night 5-3. I thought I mentioned that for the late score, yes?
My girlfriend and I would love to go to Tampa, Neil. What do you say? Please.
What do I say what?
Can we go to Tampa?
I never say please. We have an open line in Broward. Sometimes I say may I. Open line in Broward, 5249463. One on the green line, 1-800-9. If he would have known the right game, I'd have sent their ass right over there to Tampa. He's given me a song and a dance. See, if you'd have been a good liar, if you'd have said, oh, I think it was in the Ottawa, no, it could have been Ottawa. It was in the Quebec somebody game. But I was watching the Pittsburgh-Ottawa game. You should have known that. So I knew you were wrong immediately, if not sooner, because Doug McLeod told me. And why was Doug McLeod doing that game again on television and Mike Lang doing it on the radio? But quite frankly, Doug McLeod ain't that bad. I don't want to say that he's better than some announcers I can think of, like Chris Moore, but 1047 at WIOD.
WIOD. What's wrong with a little cheap talk among friends?
Hey, baby, I'm going to use you as a sex toy.
And now, here's another exciting offer from Video Treasure Chest, just in time for Fred Rogers' birthday. Millions of children grew up watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but few saw the misguided attempt to spin the series off into a prime-time show, as this Lost Pilot episode shows.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood Watch. Let's take a stroll and see if everything's okay. Wait a minute. There's someone skulking in the bushes outside Mrs. Magnolia's bedroom window. Hello there, neighbor.
Hi.
Say, you're not wearing any pants. Are you a pervert?
Yes, I am.
This is a pervert, boys and girls. My, that looks awfully comfy. Would you mind if I took my pants off, too?
I guess not.
Ooh, that's real nice and breezy, isn't it? Let's all take our pants off, boys and girls. So, what you doing here in the bushes?
Well, I was peeking in this window here.
See anything interesting?
Well, some lady's taking off her clothes.
Mind scooching over so I can take a look?
Be my guest.
Why, that's Mrs. Magnolia. She's got some great big old hooters, doesn't she? Can you say that? Hooters?
Hooters.
Very good.
Look, if you don't mind, I'm going to put my pants back on and be on my way.
Are you sure? Night's still young.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll see you around.
Well, boys and girls, wasn't that interesting? We met a real live pervert. Be sure to come back for next week's Neighborhood Watch, when we'll go down to the docks and take off our pants in front of some sailors. Bye.
The Lost Pilot episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood Watch, entitled Can You Say Canceled?, can be yours for just $19.95 in local video stores. Video Treasure Chest. We've got rooms of this crap.
Hey, sailor!
Okay, 10:53 at WIOD on a really interesting Tuesday. It's developing into a really psychotic day, and there's a green line, a passion line, that's not lit. Let's do Lake Worth. Hello?
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Okay.
We're talking about how the crowds and the sporting events really are apathetic. I was watching the Bulls game on Sunday with Michael Jordan's reappearance.
Yeah. Which had like some gigantic, a 35 share, 36 share, something like that.
Yeah, and it was like a sellout. The arena, 16,000 something, and it did go into overtime. And I was watching it.
And they lost.
Yeah, well, but as the camera went down to the end, people were just streaming out with 2 and 3 minutes left, and it was a tie ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like the big game of Michael Jordan coming back. Ridiculous. Also,
what does that mean?
Just, people don't care. They want to get out of the park.
Well, maybe those people are all planning on moving to Florida. That's the way we do it here.
They want to get out to the parking lot?
Right, and get the hell out of there. I can't blame them. Who wants to fight all that stupid traffic anyway?
Yeah, but you could at least stay for a game like that. You should at least stay and see how it ends. I mean,
well, that's sports fans in America. They're losing interest fast. They realize that they've been had, they've been ripped off, and they're getting tired of it.
And what we have up here in Palm Beach County, of course, is the Blaze, who is a good team. They're for a minor league or whatever they are. they are a pretty good team. And you know the West Palm Auditorium, what is it, like 4,000 or 5,000 seats?
Mm-hmm.
They can't put 2,000 in there when they're playing another, Lakeland, I think, is supposed to be another really good team. And we went a couple weeks ago, and it's like maybe 2,000 people at the very most in there. And it's like $6 and $8 seats.
Yeah.
And they can't even fill that.
Well, what are you complaining about? In Hartford's got a National Hockey League team. They do like 8,000 people a game. And about 1,000 of those never show up anyway.
It's unbelievable.
You can sit wherever the hell you want in Hartford. Buy a $2 seat and sit right there on the glass.
And I got an old spy report for you.
Yes?
Remember when you were in the Plantation Fashion Mall with the Center One thing?
Sure do.
And Matt was standing over, George and his wife had Matt pinned against the glass.
They had him pinned right up against the wall.
You remember that?
And George's wife keeps calling here every day saying, when are we going to hit the mat again?
I was in... nobody ever gave you the full story on that. I was in earshot of the whole conversation.
Yeah.
And Matt was showing a lot of interest in, like, wanting to be a trainee or a board-op trainee or... he just was showing a lot of interest in being this...
I'll give him some training.
In the studio. And, George was directing him the right way, telling him to,
So where the hell is he?
I don't know, but I've heard you, say that George is trying to scoop him, and George is trying to help you out, I'm sure of it.
George was interfering on behalf of his wife, okay? Don't ever kid yourself. He's not trying to get anybody in here that I might just sit and look at,
And
if that's the case, where is he?
I don't know.
Where's Matt?
He was
Where's
asking.
Kevin with the Maple Leaf, with the Felix Potvin jersey? Where's Stephen from Plantation? Where are all these fine specimens of the human race? They're all gone. It's all just, life is just a big tease, that's all. And have a great day. We have an open line in Dade, 751, the green lines, the passion lines. But it's a good thing he did call, remind me about Matt, because when we need to have our 85 interns for the summer here, hanging around and getting school credit for just hanging around here and eating a lot of free food, Matt certainly is at the top of our list, isn't he, George?
If you say so.
Don't give me that crap, okay? Your wife might actually put that tongue away for a couple of days if you brought Matt in.
I love that tongue.
Yeah, I'll bet. So does she. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
First-time caller. How you doing, Neil?
Great.
I always hear you talking about Garden State Park, and my brother's a valet there.
Really?
Yeah.
Must not be too busy.
Yeah, they are going bankrupt.
Oh, that's sad. It's such a beautiful... Have you ever been there?
Of course.
What a beautiful track.
Yeah.
And they're dying over there.
Yeah, they are. How come you prefer harness racing to thoroughbred racing?
I always have. I just, to me, it's more exciting. There's not all this long time in between races. I mean, you have to take a pillow when you go to the thoroughbreds. You can take a nap. Seriously, it's just too much time in between.
Right.
And then they run for 1 minute and 10 seconds, and guess what? You got another half hour.
Let me ask you another thing. If all the drivers were black in harness racing, would you still follow it?
No.
No?
That's an interesting question. If all the drivers were black, would I still go to the track? Probably, I guess so.
And there is a white team in the NBA that's good. They'll probably win the championship this year. The Phoenix Suns. They start 3 white guys a lot of times.
They start 3 white guys?
Yeah. And Dan Marler's the second best player on the team, and he's great.
But they're big, freaky guys, though. All the guys in the NBA look like they're from outer space or something. I can't relate to them.
Well, there's no Latins, so there's nothing to look at for you, Neil.
Oh, that's true. Now you're getting onto it. If we had some Latin guys on there, then I would start watching the NBA. Now you got it.
Okay.
Those Latin guys are too short. That's the problem. You guys are going to have to start eating your vitamins, baby, and a lot of cereal or something because you're too short.
Oh, okay.
So see if you can grow it a little.
All right.
Have a great day, Pally. Yeah, he's got a good point. There are no... Now, why is that? Do the Heat have like a lot of Latins that... I bet they do. Now, the Panthers, we got some. I wouldn't say we have a tremendous Latin crowd at the Panther games. Some. Thanks to me, mostly. The ones who are in a closet and pretend they don't listen to the show, but they really do, and they discovered hockey is great, and they have a lot of fights, and they like that. But as far as Latins at basketball games, maybe we can hear from somebody who goes to the Heat game, although I did ask a Heat question yesterday. No matter what I asked yesterday, I might as well have been talking to myself. But that would be interesting to find out if there's a lot of Latins who come to the Heat games. Because I still hear that, man, they are in a coma. And what's all this business about? We had another call on Rick and Suds this morning about women using the men's restroom at the arena. What is that all about?
Squirt, squirt.
God. Yes. Because the lines are just... Now, let's face it. Okay, just stop and think about it. Let's say there's 14,000 people in there on the average, which is, give or take. I would say of the 14,000, 10,000 would be male. Okay? 4,000 women. Guys bring their girlfriends, their wives. Then there's Ellen and Jeannie, and of course, they hang out in the men's room. I know that, those two. And the same with the Blade Runner girl and Janet. They hang out in the men's room. They hang out in the showers downstairs. But so if there's 4,000 women, now is there a lack of the number of women's rooms? Why does this seem to be the big problem at every sports facility? For years, they all bitched about the Orange Bowl. Not enough places to go pee. Not enough toilets. The toilets looked like a toilet. They smelled like a toilet. And now we got the same thing at the arena. There are women, because in between periods, if you wait to go take a leak, and I always, if there's like about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left, and I got to really go, I make a run, and there's no problem. But if you wait until the end of the period, man, they're lined up 20, 30 deep at the urinal. And there's a few guys in there, too.
Hank Goldberg, eat your heart out. News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD. Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Gordon gives South Florida a major blowjob.
Florida sucks. News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD presents The Neil Rogers Show.
Neil, God.
To talk with Neil, call 751 WIOD in Dade, 524 WIOD in Broward. Outside the 305 area code, it's toll-free, 1-800-944-WIOD. And Cellular One customers can call pound IOD at no charge. Now, The Neil Rogers Show on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
Hey, it's Howard. Howard Sperm.
OJ, you killed Nicole. You killed Nicole. OJ, you killed Nicole. You killed Nicole. I killed Nicole. I killed Nicole. I killed Nicole.
That night, when she turned off all the lights, there's no place where she could hide. Oh no, OJ was gonna get her. OJ went out to kill her. OJ went out to kill her. OJ went out to kill her. Man. OJ went out to kill her that night. One day, the jury's gonna set free OJ. For all we know, he's gonna head your way. Oh yes, and OJ's gonna get ya. It's true, OJ is gonna come after you, and then he'll get away with that one too. Oh yes, OJ's gonna get ya. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. Oh, man. OJ's gonna get you one night.
OJ, you killed Nicole. You killed Nicole. OJ, you killed Nicole. You killed Nicole. I killed Nicole. I killed Nicole.
Boy, yeah.
I killed Nicole.
OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you. OJ's gonna get you tonight.
Okay, 11:08 at WIOD. Will be OJ in it a little bit later on today. By the way, bad news for OJ fans. Friday, no juice. No court on Friday. I guess the judges got like a golf game or something going on. No court on Friday. Here's a mobile in Dania. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
First-time caller.
All right.
Hey, my name is Bert.
Yes, Bert.
Compliments to the best talk show host on the damn radio, man. You're the best.
I am.
Listen, I've been listening to you since '91. I'm a stunt man, and I was doing a movie down
You're a
in...
stuck man?
Yeah. And I was doing 100 Lives of Blackjack Savage in Miami. and I want to compliment you on all your commentary on the Persian War. I loved it. Every time all of us, we listen to you constantly, all the stunt guys on the show.
Well, we were pretty good on the Gulf War, too. I thought we were kind of on top of that one, too.
Yeah, but I'm living down the Keys now, and I've listened to you every time I get up this way, and I've never tried calling, and it's a pleasure.
Well, thanks a pile.
Most compliments.
And
to
you have a great day.
I shall.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, and it was also good when we covered that little Contra Thompson Ceylon. I was pretty accurate on top of that. We have an open line in Dade, 75. There is no more Ceylon? Anybody know where Sri Lanka is? What is wrong with it? You know something? I could go off on a tear, but I won't do it, because even in the old days, when I was on KAT, I remember Lynne Russell got to be the PD because Sid Levin took a shine. She had a nice ass or something like that. So he made her the program director after, So anyway, she became the PD, and I went there one day. I said, not that I was asking, because I don't ask program directors, even going back way back then when I was making $225 a week, I didn't ask them permission for what material I was going to do on the show. That's like kindergarten. Okay, that only program directors were on some kind of a psychotic power trip get into things like that, you know. I mean, I can understand if you're dealing with a bunch of schmeckles who need to be led by the nose, but we don't need that here. Most of the people on the air, except for some of the weekend and nighttime people, are professional broadcasters. But anyway, so I said, I'm going to do a whole week of shows on education. And she looked at me and said, I'm a little slow today. She looked at me and said,
Why?
That was Lynne Russell. Now of Headline News, big TV star, not making much money. Now, she's nice. She's all right. She mellowed out since she and Sid were tight. But anyway, and I said, because I think it's a very important topic. We were issue-oriented radio. And she looked at me like, oh, gee, that's boring. And here we are 20 years later, and it's still boring. And it's like 100 times worse than it was then. I mean, you ask somebody for... Every time they put that thing in the paper about how they ask, like, U of M students, of course, that's a bad example because they're mostly dummies anyway, but they ask college students, they give them a map, and they ask them, okay, point out the area on the map that you live in. And a whole bunch of them can't do it. There's that thing dangling down there. I mean, it's so obvious, it's like hanging out of their pants. It's dangling right, and they can't find Florida. They don't know where it is. Guys from New York. I mean, there's Long Island sitting out there like in the Atlantic Ocean. It makes it kind of pretty obvious where New York is. If you know what I'm saying? Where's New York on the map? I don't know. They point to like where Minnesota is. Duluth. I mean, I don't understand how anybody can accept this. How do it be possible for people to be so stupid and so inarticulate and so goddamn illiterate? How is that possible? It's frightening, and nobody cares. They didn't care then, and they don't care now. This is the greatest curse in this country. These are the dumbest freaking people on the face of the earth, are Americans. And it's not because they're bad people. It's because nobody cares about education. They can tell you all kinds of crap like about O.J., who was on the witness stand yesterday, how many Inside Edition shows Kato Kalin's been on. They can tell you all this other crap. O.J.'s daddy was a drag queen. He was? By the way, the WABC slams the Yankees with a $10 million suit over the rights fees. I'm sure you've heard about this. Some big inside radio information. WABC says the replacement players' sham competitions have created a breach of contract. And when you're paying $5 million a year in rights fees, you want the real thing. When you pay for it, you want the real thing, not some make-believe thing, not something made out of plastic. Yankees flagship WABC is still carrying the preseason games, but tells the court virtually no advertisers will touch them with an ugly stick. Also points out the team has cut ticket prices to fans by 50%, but New York Times says MSG Network is in the same jam, can't get a break on its $44 million a year rights fees. Word is also WABC is demanding monetary damages. WABC and George Steinbrenner have had a stormy relation on and off for years. They've been losing money. It said is the first rights-related lawsuit, but maybe not the last. When will WQAM sue Wayne Huizinga? That'll be the day when they get the balls to sue anybody, you know it? Bunch of pansies over there. And hey, nice going, Joe and Dave, on those make-believe ballroom ball games. 11:14 at WIOD.
610 WIOD, the station your mother's afraid to listen to.
Another dick in the White House? In the 50s, Robert Young made people laugh in Father Knows Best. Now, this great series is back, starring a few Catholic priests who like it young in the return of Father Knows Best.
Step into the confessional, Billy.
I don't know, Father. This makes the 47th time I've been in there this week.
Oh, Billy, you want to be a good Catholic, don't ya?
Yeah, but does everybody get a spanking?
Father Knows Best. It's the Vatican's best-kept secret, and you've got a private seat for all the fun. Just enter the rectory from the rear.
All right, Billy boy, it's time for your flute lesson.
But, Father, your flute has only one hole, and it doesn't make any noise.
Oh, it will, Billy. It will.
Father Knows Best. Once you've seen this new sitcom, you'll wonder why you've never heard about it.
Let me introduce you to St. Peter.
Father Knows Best. Going to church may not seem very entertaining, but there really is something funny going on here.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Wasn't Robert Young in Father Knows Best? I think so. It's 11:17 at WIOD. Here's, what is that? Salina, Kansas.
Neil.
Yes.
How you doing, man?
What the hell is that?
What do you mean, what the hell is that?
What is Salina, Kansas? What is it?
It's a place on I-70.
Yeah.
It's halfway in between the state.
Between the what?
It's halfway in between the state of Kansas.
Between the state of Kansas and a dark place.
It's like
between
right
a rock, yeah.
It's like right in the city.
In other words, in the middle of the state.
Yeah, and there's like, only...
Halfway between the edges.
It's like inhabited by 5 people, and they all live at the, the
Well,
local
what you be doing there is the obvious question. What are you doing there?
Oh, I'm coming on the ride all the way from Seattle.
From Seattle?
Yeah.
How long is that going to take you? About a week?
No, in fact, we've got here in 2 days.
Yeah.
So it'd probably be like another 2 more days.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, we're just having a good time and, listen to your show and just let you know we're on our way back.
Well, hallelujah. And guess what? Nothing's changed here.
Huh?
Same old stuff going on here.
Hey, what's the deal about the Tokyo thing? I caught a little bit of that. There's some kind of a terrorist deal?
No, it's just some leftover gas from Hiroshima, I think. It's just delayed reaction.
All right, Neil.
Have a good trip, Pally.
I'll talk to you when I get back, man.
All right. Have a safe one.
Later.
Bye. And a trip, too. Yeah, they're just a little delayed reaction gas coming out of, In fact, what we did is we dropped a time release on them, is what we did. They didn't realize it. That'll get even with those little slanty-eyed guys. Oh, sorry, Judge Ito. Sorry about that. Those Chinese guys can sure play ping pong, can't they? See, that's another thing. When you come across, like, those make-believe sports stations on there, like when you guys used to have Sports Channel, which they took it away from most of you because you don't have a satellite dish and you got cable and you got screwed again. But during the off hours, even on ESPN, where they got 24 hours a day to fill and they got 4 hours of programming, and they put all this other crap on there, when they got a ping pong tournament on there, do you watch that? What is that noise I'm hearing, by the way? Where is that leaking from? Is that the phone pot again? Boy, there's something really filthy in our pot. Better weed it out. No, but seriously, would you watch a bunch of Chinese guys playing ping pong? Would Chinese people play? We have never had a Chinese caller on this show. Have we?
Once.
No.
You put that
Japanese.
No, it was a Chinese person.
A Chinese? Which have we never had? Have we never had a Japanese call this show?
No Koreans.
We don't have any Koreans living here, do we?
I'm sure we do.
We do? How about Thai? Do we have any Taiwanese? Taiwanan? No, that would be a good thing for us to do today in between all these people sucking around for these hockey tickets. But I noticed lately most of them are not even wasting their time asking, which is a good idea. Now, I'll give them away soon, maybe. But what we need a Jap to call in here would be good. But seriously, do you think Chinese people watch ping pong because other Chinese people are playing with it? Huh? It's like porno movies. Do you want to see Chinese people doing it? I guess it depends on what they look like.
Make me feel better about myself.
Seriously, would you watch a movie with unless you had really good vision? Now, some Chinese women are very well endowed. Some Chinese women are voluptuous. And some Chinese guys are very, very good looking, a lot of them, but not well endowed. Trust me. Here's Boca on the purple line. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir.
I got 4 topics real fast to hit you on. First
okay, number one.
Rodriguez, the coach of FIU now. Spanish, Latin, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's a strong coach. Maybe FIU will make it back to the NITs and play UCLA again and get killed.
Great, and lose by 45 points again. Great.
Number 2, I'm sitting in the barber shop this morning, and someone saying to the barber shop that Michael Jordan's calling it quits, that he doesn't got what it takes. Is that true? You hear anything about it?
Yeah, he usually, he liked to say it wasn't a quitter, but he played and he figured it. When he came out there with his pants on backward, he figured that was a bad omen. So he thought one game was enough. Not that it was a publicity stunt. He's out.
Unbelievable. And number 3.
Plus, they lost the game.
I know you're a food lover. I got this great new restaurant in Coral Springs.
Yes?
Called Hobo's Fish Joint. Real good fresh fish.
Homo's Fish Joint?
Hobos.
Hobos. Okay.
Yeah, great stuff.
Probably a lot of bottom feeders hang out in there, yes?
Thanks a lot, pal.
Okay, have a great day. We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD, and we also have one on the passion line, 1-800-944-9463. Now, what do we got? We got the Panthers are playing at Buffalo on Friday. They're playing at Montreal, I believe, tomorrow. Oh, man. Montreal never loses at home. They go on the road, they get walloped like last night, 8-4 by the Flyers. Can you imagine what those frogs in Montreal are going through right now? They want Jacques Demers. They want the entire front office. They want to fry their ass right on the ice, and I don't blame them. What a trade that was. Mark Recchi, I mean, he's a nice little guy. He's okay. Never stole a freight train. He don't look too bad. He's, he's a guy. But he's not like the end of the world. It's not like Pavel Bure or Eric Lindros or some like superstar. It's a guy. And they give away 3 outstanding young players. And now since they made that trade, Philadelphia's in first place. They're like 6 points in first place. They're beating the crap on a regular basis out of the Canadiens, who cannot win a game on the road, who can't steal a game on the road, but they win at home. They only lost once at home all year long. And the Panthers, we got to go in there tomorrow night with those goddamn more frogs. Not bad enough we got frogs' legs last night. Now we got to go in there tomorrow. And by the way, you notice one thing about hockey players, these guys aren't pussies. These guys aren't a bunch of guys that just because they're friends with each other. Last night in the first period, Rimmer is telling us that Joe Sakic and Mike Huff were good old buddies when they were young, in school or whatever together, and they went out to dinner the night before because the team got there the afternoon before, like Sunday, and they go out to dinner Sunday night. Right in the first period, Mike Huff reaches out his stick and high sticks Joe Sakic right in the puss, opens up a nice big cut and gets a 4-minute high-sticking double minor. Attaboy, Mike! Oh! All right! Don't let friendship stand in the way of a good high stick. Hi. It's 11:24 at WIOD.
Hi, this is Erin Somers. Tonight we're going down memory lane because we're going to be talking about the time that we lost our virginity.
Passion Phones with Erin Somers, weeknights 8 till midnight on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD. 610 WIOD. Don't leave now. We need a designated driver.
Okay, 11:26 at WIOD. 2 open lines at date. What is that all about at 751-9463? You ought to see the really nice puff piece that Nick Lawrence sent here. He must be looking for a job, huh? From the light bulb. Remember, Nick? The aroma lingers on, baby. Oh, I'm sorry. 751 WIOD. And don't forget, if you want to actually pay and go on this bus trip, because you're not going to win it anyway, most of you, all except one pair. You can call the toll-free number, 1-800-395-5287. It's the J.J. Kelly Charter Bus. J.J. Kelly, those are the folks that bring us that great scoreboard all the time during the Panther games, which, quite frankly, many nights, that's all I'm paying any attention to. I don't want to say when the Leafs are playing. Not that I don't pay attention to our Panthers, but some nights up until recently, there wasn't too much to pay attention to. Now we're playing good, and we lose every night. The Panther Express to Tampa a week from Sunday, April 2nd, to see the Panthers and the Lightning play in the beautiful Thunderdome. It's a pretty interesting place if you've never been there. It's just bring a pillow to sit on. Not that the seats are uncomfortable, it's just you have to be able to look over the head of the person sitting right in front of you, because they're not like slanted well. Maybe the Orientals could help them out over there. They don't know how to slant it right. $59 per person if you want to pay for it. That includes round-trip luxury bus transportation with restroom. They got a VCR on the bus. You can watch all your favorite pornos, whatever they're going to show. Game ticket, free sodas available on the bus. But space is limited, so call that number in to hop on the bus and go to Tampa and get some enthusiasm for the Lightning over there. Jeff Moss asked me, he said, you want to go over there? I said, no way. Call 1-800-395-5287. No, it's not that I didn't want to go. It's just that I felt we want to give these away to some of our nice listeners out there, if we can find a couple. But I've already been over there. I was there 2 years ago. I went and see. No, actually, I was not at the Thunderdome because they didn't have the Thunderdome. I was at that Cow Palace they had in Brandon where the Lightning played their first season. And I saw the Leafs beat the living crap out of them twice that year. That was good. I mean, beat the living. And then last year, we went over twice, saw the Leafs beat them. And then that early game when the Panthers beat them, was it 1-0 or 2-0? That first, that was the record-breaking game where they had 29,000 and some odd, and they all were odd, in the Thunderdome. They pack them in there, man. It's a bizarre bunch, but they sure pack them. Here's a lady in Homestead. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am.
I think your show is great because you give people the opportunity to say what they feel.
Sometimes.
All right, but anyway, this has a little to do. Well, it has a little to do with the O.J. case.
Mm-hmm.
Now, very fast, I was going to say that in L.A., when King got a beating from the cops out in L.A., King, who was Afro American, okay, I was ready to crucify the cops and find them guilty, the whole bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Reginald Denny, when he got that beating, it left him half dead, right? Nothing was done about that, but yet the Afro-Americans looted their L.A. and they burned places and did the whole bit. But Reginald Denny, well, forget about that, right? Susan Smith, who was white, and she murdered her children by throwing them in the lake. Well, I wanted to do the same thing to her. I'm white, okay? And this
You want to do what, throw her in the lake?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted her to get murdered
Sounds good.
the same way, all right? So,
but we will feel bad about it. We'll stand around for about 45 minutes and feel bad and watch your gas, or watch the bubbles come up, yeah?
What I'm trying to say is no matter what race you are, okay,
Yeah.
it shouldn't make a difference. The Afro-Americans blame us for being prejudiced, but it doesn't look that way, okay? O.J.
Look, you can't keep living in the past. That's the bottom line. You can't keep pointing back and say, it's like when David Berkowitz, they discovered he was the son of Sam and killed all those women. They didn't say, well, the Jews have been persecuted long enough and David Berkowitz is Jewish. I mean, what is that? You can't keep using race or religion or any other thing as an excuse for I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer, nobody said, oh, here's another poor gay guy that's being persecuted just because he killed a bunch of guys and has a bunch of bodies in his refrigerator. It's just lame. It's really lame.
I mean, O.J. murdered his wife, took his children's mother away from them. Now, those children are half Afro-American.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which half?
What do you mean, what half?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I just don't understand it. I don't understand how 76% of them could say that he is innocent.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
They said that not only in it, they said there is no chance that he committed the crime.
He's so freaking guilty, it's pathetic.
It is.
And he's going to walk. That's the
And he's giving us all the finger. How do you like? You notice how he's laughing when he stood in front of them? They came over to the jury and he smirked and laughed and he said, hey, take a look at this finger. He's doing the Brian Cox routine now.
The smirks on his face.
Exactly.
You want to punch his lights out, I swear
There
to
you
God.
go. Well, we'll give you a chance to drop the pellet in the gas chamber, okay?
But, the sad part, I'm going to hang up now, but the sad part is that we all know he's going to walk.
There you go.
All right.
Well, you got to walk before you sit down in a gas chamber.
Yeah,
Have a great day.
All right.
Hang in there. Open line. What a hum on that thing, huh? Wow. And that Carl Douglas, you notice how since he made all those mistakes, those big boners, they haven't been letting him do much of anything except sit there and look kind of dazed most of the time. Huh? And what is the story with those lips? Do you notice how he's got blue lips? I better ask Dr. Dunn about that. He looks like he's been rimming Frosty the Snowman. He's got really... Okay, let's go to West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I'll throw 3 or 4 things at you quick.
Okay.
Number one, you were talking about the kids not knowing where New York was.
Yeah.
How about there's only 20% of this select group of high school or college kids they asked. They didn't know who even dropped the bomb in Japan. None of them even...
Who dropped the ball in Japan? I think probably the Sony people when Michael Jackson got into trouble.
Maybe they put it down the subways, too.
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean, so what do they... They got a lot of people over there, so there's some gas on the subway over there. I mean, what if they... And then they had a threat... All these copycat guys, then they had a threat of some gas in New York,
gas mask prices, the stock prices went up 100 times. There was trading 100 times as much as usual.
In Japan, yeah, that's true. That is absolutely correct.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. See,
Listen,
everything is done.
Week. Who's the showdown this week?
Mark Aubin and Terry Kerr. Tomorrow night.
Terry Kerr's the kid from California, ain't he?
He's not a kid.
Well, you know what I mean.
He's a grizzled old man.
Is he really?
Well, he's not an old man.
I thought he was about 35.
Yeah, but he looks about 55.
Well, I guess driving
Mark Aubin will show him his backside in every one of those races. Mark Aubin is the best out there, I'll tell you that. I love Kevin Wallace, but I'm going to be honest with you. To me, Mark Aubin is phenomenal. He's great.
Okay.
He is, I'm telling you.
All right, well, I will see what happens. Listen, I was going to throw a hockey story at you real quick.
And how about, let me say it again. Were you there last Wednesday?
No, I didn't go last Wednesday.
Well, let me just tell you again. I want to mention it. I want to mention it for the third time. Wally Hennessy gives 2 assists on his victory to Gary Mills. Okay, 2 of the races he never would have won in a million years, but that's another story. Go ahead.
Is that when Gary Mills ran second with that 30 or 40 to 1 shot?
That sat on the outside and locked Gregory in all the way around in that last race when they were like 4 points apart. You bet your sweet butt. Yeah.
I saw that.
And in the first race in the showdown, when he left with that rat, what the hell's the name of that piece of crap that never left the gate in his life on the rail, and he parked Gregory out the first quarter 27-4 with a horse that never had gate speed before in his life. Good old Gary Mills gets an assist on there. Give him 500 of the 1,000, Wally. Go ahead, sir.
Really? I was going to throw a hockey story at you quick. You know, believe it or not, before the Rangers got sort of good, the Ranger fans used to be like the Cub fans. They were spent like 30 or 40 years, and they didn't have a chip on their shoulder. And I went to one of their greatest games they ever had. It was, do you remember their goalie, Eddie Jockman?
Of course.
Eddie Jockman was
Fast
loved.
Eddie.
Huh?
Yeah.
Fat Eddie was loved in New York.
Not Fat Eddie, Fast Eddie.
Oh, Fast
Not
Eddie.
Fat Eddie. That was Gump Worsley was fat.
But that's right. I didn't think he was so
And
fat.
Steve
Anyway,
Ziegler.
when they traded him to the Detroit Red Wings, the next game the Rangers played, it was in the next game or the second game, the Red Wings came to play the Rangers at Madison
Now, why
Square
did
Garden.
he look at me when I said that? You're fat and I'm fat. What's wrong with being fat, Steve? What did he give me an exasperated look on that for? You're fat. Lose some weight, Steve. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. In any case, when they came back and played at Madison Square Garden,
Yeah.
Eddie
What are you
Jockman-
talking about?
Eddie Jockman, no,
You're
when they traded
usually
Eddie
like
Jockman
fairly
to the Detroit
lucid.
Red Wings-
Today you're just dying on me.
No, I'm not dying.
Trying to
Anyway,
save this call with some spurious material.
Let me finish my hockey story.
Well, what is it?
Eddie Jockman's first game against the Rangers was back against the Rangers in Madison Square Garden. He shut them out 1-0. The crowd went crazy. They were all yelling Eddie. At
What
the
do you
end
mean
of the game, he came out,
against
he
the
took off his
Rangers?
thing, and he was crying. He was
What do
bawling.
you mean against the Rangers?
Huh?
He was playing for the Rangers.
No. It was his first game for the Red Wings. They traded him during the middle of the
I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Well, his first game as a Red Wing, he played it against the Rangers and shut them out, and the crowd gave him a standing ovation. He came out on the ice, was crying, and took bows like no tomorrow. It's one of the greatest hockey stories there is.
Well, what do you mean it's one of the greatest? That was no story at all. That wasn't a great story.
Well, it was.
That was terrible.
What's wrong with it?
There was no nothing.
The crowd had love for him, and even though he was playing for another team, they came out and they cheered.
Well, how about
him for
those
the
fans
years
in
he spent
Indiana?
with
They gave a sitting ovation to Michael Jordan the other day on Sunday when NBC hyped that thing up real big, and everybody got sucked into watching it, including me. I fished around. I went to K2 to get the real clear picture there on a big satellite on a big dish, and I tuned it in. I watched all the pregame hype, and I watched about 5 minutes of the game itself, and then I got on my treadmill and said, screw this.
It was the same thing, except there was no hype in this thing. Nobody came
Well,
out
it
with
wasn't the same thing because the
shut up.
fans in Indiana were kind of like nonplussed. They said, hey, screw you, Michael Jordan. We came here to see the Pacers beat your ass, and they did.
Okay.
They did, because he was 7 from 28 from the floor. They gave away the game. They played him 43 minutes, and the guy hasn't played in a year. How do you like that? Phil Jackson should be crucified in Chicago. They should hang his ass from a cross.
43 minutes was a little bit. Maybe no more than 30 minutes you should have got.
Tops.
Anyway, let me ask
7 out of 28 from the floor. You could make 7 out of 28. With your eyes closed. I'm telling you, blindfolded, you could do it.
Listen, let me ask him. How close
Bob
is that
Cousy
Tampa
could
Bay
do it. Even
place
with
to
that
the
bad
Downs?
speech defect, he could go out there and do it right now.
Okay. How close is Tampa Bay to Tampa Bay Downs?
Far.
Far?
It's in St. Pete.
Oh, really?
Have a great day, pal. We have an open line in Broward, 524, and one on the passion line. Boy, that was a great story you had about Eddie Jackman, wasn't it? I guess you had to be there. It's 11:36 at WIOD.
In WIOD, we hired the best programming consultants in the business and then told them to go to hell.
What do you guys think about this penis thing?
Do you suffer from constipation?
Boy, I sure do.
There's nothing worse than feeling constipated. But why should you also have to watch your money go down the drain, so to speak?
Oh, yeah, you gotta help me.
Now there's a product for your bathroom that is made just for constipated people.
Hurry, tell me what it is.
New 6 Flushes Bathroom Bowl Cleaner. 6 Flushes is a lot less powerful than 2,000 flushes, but since you're constipated, why pay more for flushes you won't be using? 6 Flushes is only 25 cents.
This is how you're gonna help me?
Yes, you'll save fistfuls of cash.
Your product is absolutely worthless.
6 Flushes, from the makers of 2,000 a day vitamin tablets, the ones with no potency.
Okay, it's 11:39, 21 till noon at WIOD. We have an open line. 2 of them, we got a pair on the green lines. And in the next 20 minutes, we're going to be giving away that thing. In the next 20 minutes, we're going to give away that pair because we don't want to milk this past noon. We got the OJ crap coming up later, and I'm sure we got a lot of very important calls. After yesterday's experience here, it's obvious to me that you can never, that woman called before she had a bad hum on the phone, and she wanted to say her piece, and she at least responded to something that I said, which happens very, very infrequently. Because most people are too much, they're pussycats, man. They're too much of a wimp to respond, especially if they disagree. Because if they agree, first of all, they assume that I'll think that they're just sucking around, which they probably are. And if they disagree, they think that I'll probably make them really look bad and hang up and browbeat and terrorize them. Oh, and here he is again on CNN and Company. One more time for Tracy and Judy, or whatever his wife's name, Kennedy, former Simpson juror. Last night, I'm flipping along on the All Over the Dog because I'm watching the Panther game and I'm watching the Hartford game. And so I flip over on a cable to see something, and it happens to be on CNN. Guess who's on CNN? Our good, close, loan me $50, buddy. And who's he got on there? He's got Tracy Kennedy and his wife are on there. Now, how long can it be before we get the movie, the book, the short story, the long story, the tall story, the phony story, the real story, and everything else? The tabloid show interviews. He's everywhere. Tracy Kennedy, what's his claim to fame? He got thrown off the goddamn Simpson jury. He's a star now. He's a star because he got tossed out of there because they believed he was writing a book, and there's some other stuff probably going on that we don't know about yet. But now he's a superstar. I rest my case. Here's Pembroke Pines. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
Okay, I got a couple things to respond. I could have a Jap call you. My ex-sister-in-law, she's a big-time Jap.
Is she?
I can't stand that bitch.
I'm not talking about a Jewish princess. I'm talking about a real Jap.
I'm just playing with you. I want to talk to you about the Panthers.
Can't feel it yet. Yes?
Okay. What do you think about I know we got two good goalies.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know if you agree with this or not, but why?
Well, let's find out.
Okay. Well, I understand you got to give Beezer a rest every few days, but don't you think that can break like any kind of momentum? Like, I'm just going to give you an example. I am a Panther fan, but like how they had Richter playing all season last year for the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Kean basically said he's not going to pull him out. Even when he had a couple bad games. Don't you
what
think
are you talking about? He didn't pull him out. He pulled him out in the middle of some games and put Healy in the middle of the game.
Well, last year, the majority of games, he
played most of the games.
He was the goalie.
Right.
Okay.
He was the number one goalie,
right.
Of course.
And I understand why they play every other day, and there's not too many back-to-back games. But do you think that could be hurting? I mean, putting Fitzpatrick in?
I think that when a guy only plays very, very infrequently, he can be rusty. I think Fitzpatrick is better than what we saw the last couple of starts he made.
Well, last night was a great game.
I think it's unfair to... What?
I thought the game last night was a lot exciting.
He didn't play a great game.
He
stunk the joint out. The team played a great game.
The team played great.
But what I'm saying to you is they usually go with a hot hand, and Nielsen... See, when you're going to start getting me going on Roger Nielsen, I would like to get a hit squad. I'd like to pay them off to just do away with this man. He is the biggest impediment to every team that he's ever coached. He's a piece of crap. He's hard-headed.
But the price was right?
He's just an absolute piece of garbage, and everybody hates him like poison. And I noticed last night, talk about Frosty the Snowman, I noticed Rimmer was sucking around so heavy-duty with his close personal friend Brian Murray, and he's saying on the telecast, oh, gee, I'm starting to really like a lot of things that the front office has done here, a lot of these moves, and they got Swenson and yada, yada, yada. I mean, you got to remember that he's real tight, close personal buddies with Brian Murray. They go back to their days in Washington together.
Right.
Come on, Rimmer, quit sucking around so heavy-duty, baby.
What else is he going to say? He's going to bash him? No way.
But I mean, the suction was so heavy, man, I was holding onto my seat.
Of course. Anyway, one other
this
thing.
Call, yeah?
I have another theory on the arena for Latins.
Yes?
Well, it's in Dade County. It's maybe by default. Maybe they just find it off of 95.
Say it again?
They find it the arena by default. I mean, they're there. Maybe they're there. They're not. They're not true hockey fans.
Who, the Latins who come to the games?
Yeah, I mean, the majority of them are there because it's like a happening.
How do you know that? What about the Anglos who are there?
Yeah, most of them are there by default too. Somebody gave them the ticket.
Yeah.
You hear them talking in the crowd. What I think. I mean, they come there 15 games. Read the book. They give out the pamphlets, for Christ's sake.
Okay, we're going to be giving a pamphlet out in a second. We have an open line at Broward 524. Here's a fax that says it's from Kim. Why do they cross this out? I guess it's Kim. I'm a 25-year-old Korean college student who attends the University of Miami. Nothing's perfect, Kim. However, I am not your typical Korean. Wait till you hear this, George. I'm 5'8", 157 pounds, and unlike most Asians, my penis is 8 inches cut. Circumspect and circumscribed and circumcised. How do you like that? I'm also a chronic listener. I listen every day but cannot call. I love men, and I really think you would love me. And yes, there is a fairly... Oh, so this is a faggot. Oh, that's what this is, a Korean fag. You know, in Korea, I think they still shoot them for that, don't they? At least in North Korea, I'm positive. At least you get hung. Maybe that's how he got to be. So anyway, says, I love men. I think you really would love me. And yes, there's a fairly large Asian population here in South Florida, especially in the Gables in South Miami. I love you, Neil, and I love Luis Miguel. Can you play America? Maybe. I might just play that now, as a matter of fact, instead of giving those stupid tickets away. Huh? Certainly sounds good to me. Because that's what we need to do, is build a foundation on our nation with Luis Miguel. We have an open line in Dade, 751-9463. One on the green lines. There's that Gloria Allred. She was the big hotshot attorney for that kid for Michael Jackson for about 5 minutes. Then she said, I don't think so. The money's not good enough. And the kid and his family are getting all the money, and I'm not. So she's out of that. Now she's the attorney for the Brown family. Is that who she represents? You don't know? What? Now, let me ask you something. I can understand asking a lot of questions like uniform numbers on the Tampa Bay Lightning. But how could you...
I'm trying to tune this out as much as possible.
Why is that?
Because it's
like
old
tuning
already.
out life.
Big deal.
I mean, if you ignore this, that would be like ignoring our program director. It's the same kind of concept. Inanity. Here's Fort Lauderdale on the purple line. Hello.
How you doing, Neil? Puck one here.
Okay.
I need your expert
Puck face
opinion
here.
on... Excuse me?
I said puck face here.
Thank you.
Yes.
I need your
No,
expert...
that's for me. Yeah, go ahead.
I need your expert opinion on something.
Yes?
Do you think the Panthers have a chance to make the playoffs?
Yes.
With the improvements in all the other teams?
Well, yeah, but they can't keep losing all these overtime games. They're playing better there. I'm astonished how good they're playing the last 4 games now, but they're just choking in the clutch. They're choking it.
Puck's rolling the wrong way, but we'll get those bounces later in the year.
Yeah, right, sure. What have we played already? 27, 28 games? There's only 20 games left.
Did you see the last week's schedule? That's what makes me nauseated.
Yeah, we got to play on the road. We got to play at Pittsburgh. We got to play at the Rangers, I think, the night before that. We got a lot of tough road games right there at the end.
Back-to-back, Tuesday,
yeah, so we better
Wednesday,
start getting those points right now, like I said, and have a great day, Pally. We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD, and one in Broward, 5249463. And when we come back, we're going to give away that nice bus trip and those tickets to Tampa to see Lightning and the Panthers, and then afternoon we're going to die again. And then you'll hear for an hour today. Hey, listen, I got a lot of good comment about that yesterday. They enjoyed it.
610 WIOD. If we're talking too loud, you're too old.
WAYNESUCKS.
Okay, let's not beat around the bush here. 11:51 at WIOD. Okay, who's number 93 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, George? Quick, goalie? Darren? What do they call that thing before it comes out of the cocoon?
What thing? The moth?
Yeah.
The larva? The caterpillar?
Right, what do they call it?
The pupa?
There you go. All right, let's hear it for George. He gets the ticket.
Oh!
Darren, pupa. Number 93 in goal tonight for the Lightning. That's just a little joke. Okay, let's go to... He'd probably go over there. It's free. Get to drink all that free soda on the bus. You could probably time it just in time. You could have a little breakfast with Al Goldstein and Fat Rich.
Is there any free food?
No. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hello?
He won't go. There's no free food. Yes?
Yeah, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to make a comment about what you said yesterday in reference to not going to a basketball game because they're all black players.
Right.
What if I'm a black male? What if I didn't listen to talk radio because there are no black talk radio shows? I've been listening to you, Rick, Phil, for about a year and a half now.
Yeah, but see, on a talk show, we talk about things that are like of general interest to most people, I would assume. You know what I'm saying?
But it's still entertainment.
Right.
Right. So if you don't want to go because they're black...
Well, let me ask you this. Would you go to, let's say you were invited to a party, okay? There were like 100 people at the party, and 99 of them were white. You were going to be the only black person at the party. Would you go?
If the entertainment's there, yeah.
Well, see, you're more adventurous than I am.
Oh, okay.
No, that's it. I guess you're more adventurous than I am. I'm just not, I don't know. I just feel that it's not for me.
Well, but you're missing the boat. I mean, you watch all the hoopla around Michael Jordan, but then you only watch 2 minutes of the game.
No, I watched more than that. In other words, I watched the first few minutes, then I got on a treadmill for a half hour, then I came back and watched more of it, but I sure didn't watch the whole game.
Okay.
I just wanted to see how he was playing, and I saw him miss a lot of shots and take some bad shots, and I thought basically he cost them the game.
Okay, and as far as that lady who was going to put Susan Smith in the lake,
Yeah.
if she'll hold her down, I'll pee in the lake.
Okay. See ya.
Okay.
Bye. Okay. All right, here's a guy that wants to do a little number.
Squirt.
On Ricky Lake. In fact, isn't that the topic on the Passion Bones tonight? There's something about that. Something about the power showers with Jim Bandage. We have an open line. It's in Dade, 751-9463. 751. I don't know. I just can't. Maybe that is a fag thing. I don't know. Although there are a lot of black guys who look good to me. I mean, it's got nothing to do with the athletes are good looking or bad looking. And like I said, hockey players, there are some pretty good looking hockey players. But how the hell can you tell? They all got helmets on there, you know? And they got in the uniform that they're wearing. There's certainly nothing sexual about the outfit they're wearing like 50 pounds of equipment out there. They got like jocks under their jock. Oh, and what game was it I was watching the other night where the goalie got hit right like that squirrel? Remember that squirrel in Chicago that was crossing the street on Larry Lujak's show and nearly lost his nuts? But it was the Bruins game, I think, a couple of nights ago. The Bruins were playing New Jersey and lost in overtime, as it turned out. But that was a hell of a game. But Blaine Locker, that kid that plays for the Bruins in goal, he took a shot, and man, you could see where it hit him, you know, like down beneath between the pads, low in a certain spot, and he just went down to the ice like he had been hit by a ton of bricks, like somebody had whacked him. And Derek Sanderson and Fred Cusick both were like kind of aghast. In fact, I think Fred could almost feel it, which he hasn't done that in years. Here's Plantation. Hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Pretty good.
First time call, a little nervous, so...
but nevertheless, yes.
Okay, anyway, I'd like to say I used to be a crazy Ranger fan, and I really turned now. I'm a crazy Panther fan.
Yeah.
I love going down there. The atmosphere in the, the arena's great.
It is?
Unfortunately, yeah, well, it's exciting. I take my 16-year-old, we go. I only have one complaint, the parking there. When I went the other night, when I went to see the Buffalo, they lost in overtime.
Right.
There's supposed to be official parking there where the guy stands there for $8 and he says the lot is secure.
Right.
Well, anyway, I paid the $8, got my ticket, I parked back there. Here's these kids playing basketball and drinking beer, and the bottles are all over the floor. And I said, "What the heck is going on here?" I was a little bit concerned about leaving my car there.
Well, you're supposed to give each kid like $5 to watch your car. Don't you understand that?
Don't you think $8 is enough?
No, that's just to get in there. But then afterward, you give each kid $5 to watch your car.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then when you get back, you might have like a couple of tires left.
Yeah, that was the only thing that concerned me. But
when I lived in Detroit, we used to go to Tiger Stadium, which is on Michigan Avenue downtown, a very, very bad neighborhood, which Detroit has many. And nonetheless, you would park down right near the stadium and on one of the side streets, and a kid would come over and say, $1 to watch your car, mister. And, of course, you knew damn well you'd better give him $1 or the car wouldn't be there. And when you got back, they still would break in, but they wouldn't do as bad of a job. If you didn't give them anything, the car would be trashed.
Well, anyway, as I said, it's great there. You turn me on to the Panthers, and my kid loves it, and, we go down there. The only thing is, as I said, is the parking and the traffic getting home on 95 to Plantation in the evening, because they closed the damn northbound lane.
Yeah, but for another $4, if you want a valet park, man, $12, you get out of there. If I could tell you how fast we get out of there, it's frightening.
Well,
another $4.
Maybe next time I'll save us some money.
Just try it one time.
How about Tampa Bay?
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
You're surprised, aren't you?
Yeah, I really am. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Because you sound like, how old are you?
I'll be 48 in April.
See, here's a guy's almost as old as I am, and this audience thinks he's going to wait till he gets some young guy in there who sounds pretty exciting, and then he's going to give it to him. I'm giving it away to another old fart. Hang on, pal.
Thanks
Hang on.
a lot.
I hope you enjoy it.
Thanks
I hope
a lot.
we win, too.
Yeah, I hope so, too.
And watch out for that pupa. Guys on 6, take care of him. He's a good guy there. Let's give it to him. Okay, makes me look better. Since your last announcement, we now have only 5 seats left on the first flight, says Bob Lincoln, on our Vegas deal. And watch these lines go out, too, by the way. They're going to hang up fast now that we gave away our thing. By the way, thanks to Jeff Moss for being so nice to us, for finally caring. I mean, after all, we've only given him $50 million in free publicity for the Panthers, and now they turn around and do one nice thing for us. Thanks, Jeff. It's about time. And by the way, get rid of your brother, please. Also want to give you the upgrade prices for the Imperial Palace. Okay. Oh, you stayed in a suite with a love tub last year, George?
Yes, I did.
Well, what was that? What was that all about? I didn't know about that. You and your wife stayed in the love tub?
Used it, too.
I'll bet you did. Yeah, but that was before she had the tongue. She don't need you anymore. Just the tub and the tongue. $520 per person if you want the love tub. Now, is there more than one suite like that that's got the love tub?
And
you bring your own little love boat? And then a one-bedroom king suite, $555 per person, plus Mr. Fat has the nerve to charge $600. Now, see, Mr. Fat, Mr. Fat is Fat Rich. So, Bob Lincoln, if you're going to try to be one of the crowd and know whose names to start throwing around here, don't go picking on Fat Rich, okay? Because he's doing your computer, I believe, and he's also getting the freebie, so leave him alone. If you want to attack him for his behavior at the track, that's the only thing to attack him for. Other than that, he's okay sometime. But anyway, one-bedroom king suite, $550 per person. Fat Hank charges $600 for the other out-of-the-way hotel. That's right. Look at that. You can get a suite for less than he's charging just for like your ordinary regular room at that Hilton over there, which is way the hell out of the way. So he can tell you how many connections he's got. He can tell you what a big hotshot he is. But the bottom line is we still got the best trip to Vegas. And quite frankly, the first plane is just about full anyway. We only got 5 seats left on that first thing. You better call right now, baby, if you want to go on that 6:30 p.m. flight, June 15th, leaving on a Thursday evening, 3 glorious nights and days, plunging our brains, having a great time in Vegas at the Imperial Palace Hotel. Call Bob Lincoln right now before it's too late. Then, of course, there will be a second flight, another 160 seats. I have no idea how many of those are left, but probably quite a few, because most people want to go on the early one. 947-6050 is the date number, 947-6050, and toll-free from anywhere, 1-800-233-7264. A lot of superstars will be along on a trip this time. Phil the Bugman's going to be going. Ellen and Jeannie are going to be going. How do you like that? The two of them are going to be going, telling you, sharing all those stories about their 2 young boyfriends they met there last year. Those ladies have got more stories about their boyfriends, about their 25, their 20, their 15-year-old boyfriends that they met out on a trip last year that they're doing something with in their mind anyway. So, and who else do we know is going? That's somebody famous. Oh, and you'll never believe this. Would it be embarrassing if somebody found out that Jeff Rimmer and his wife, Farrell, went on that trip? They're not going. See, I just made sure of that. No, we'd love to have them along, but it would be kind of embarrassing for Hank. But, boy, it sure would piss off Zagacki, wouldn't it?
The only radio station that kicks Rush Limbaugh's ass. News, talk, and entertainment radio.
Oy.
610 WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Skip the fish, eat the meat. Good afternoon at 12 o'clock. I'm Jennifer Wren, 610 WIOD News.